Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Amber and today is Weight Watchers Weigh-In Wednesday. So how did I do? Before I jump into my results for this week's weigh-in, I just wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you have joined me for my 103-pound weight loss journey. To date, I have lost 56 pounds. And I have 47 pounds to go. So today's weigh-in, I gained 0.8 pounds. No idea why. Probably tomorrow that will be gone because that seems to be the way things work out for me. Point-wise, I have stayed within my point range. So there's no logical explanation. I mentioned on last week's weigh-in that this coming week would be my daughter's birthday celebration, and we did have a delicious cake, which I allowed myself to have a half of a slice. And then another day I did have another half a slice, but it was well within my points, so no big deal. That's what I love about Weight Watchers is everything is on the table. You just have to plan for it. So my goal for this past week was to walk several times a week during that last week. And I will say that that did not happen because I had been having a lot of back pain. So my goal, as I mentioned last week, was to walk 5,000 steps a day. That was a lofty goal, but it was a good goal. I did meet 5,000 steps one day last week. You know, as I said, I have a Fitbit, so I do, I try to challenge myself during the day, So a couple of days I made it to over 4,000, which that was a huge increase for me. And then some of the days, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000. So I wrote it down. Let me get my glasses so I can read this to you. But I looked up, and if I did 2,000 to 2,500 for my height, which is 5'4", which, that shows you what your general stride is based on your height. 2,000 to 2,500 steps would be 1 mile, and 5,000 steps would be 2 miles. 10,000 steps, which would, for me, would be like shooting for the stars. I have met that. One day when we went to Niagara Falls, that day I think I did 13,000 steps, but 10,000 steps is 4 to 5 miles. So, but my goal is 5,000 steps a day. Even if I get close to that, that's, better than before. One of Weight Watchers' mottos is progress, not perfection. So as long as I'm making strides to do more than I did yesterday, to do better than I did yesterday, we're all good. So 5,000 steps would be 2 miles. So, on the days I did 4,000, still that's like 1.5 miles or whatever. So, not bad. Not bad considering I am coming back from a very sedentary period recovering from 3 surgeries. So I am proud of my progress, but I still have these lofty goals. So yep, so up 0.8 pounds. Am I worried about it? No, I'm not worried about it. I'm a little sad. A little sad that I didn't have at least a little bit of a loss. But I think next week will show a loss. So we keep marching on. All right, so today's weekly. Let's talk about what we discussed today in the meeting. It's talking about knowing your own strengths, and it's referring back to, let me just read this to you real quick. Whatever your wellness goal, you'll get there faster if you tap into your natural strengths. Those characteristics can make you feel like your best self. Your first step, zero in on what they are. And then they had an article on the Weight Watchers site, which I did read the other day, and they mentioned this VIA Institute on Character. They've identified 24 positive traits shared by people everywhere, and they encourage you to take this free kind of assessment quiz to see what your top strengths are. which I did the other day, and it was kind of interesting. You know, you go through a series of questions, maybe takes 10 or so minutes. So I'll let you know what my top, we'll go with the top 6. You know, there are 24 traits they say everybody has, depending on, you know, you have all those traits, but, you know, depending on your strengths and weaknesses, there are stronger points, obviously, with some than others, and some of these areas you may not routinely move in. But my top 6 were, honesty was number 1, spirituality, humor, gratitude, fairness, and hope. So those are my top 6 strengths, character, personality strengths. So they were asking in the meeting today, so judging from your character strengths, then how can you apply that to weight loss or to your weight loss journey? For me, I mentioned, you know, that honesty was my top trait. And then for me, it's how I apply that is to be honest with myself. Because I mentioned this a long time ago that, you know, early on in this journey, this 103-pound weight loss journey, I kind of wrestled with, you know, do I have to track that? You know, I only had a little bit, you know, you kind of, it's like a little kid, honestly, you know, you kind of rationalize things, right? But I found that the more honest I was with myself, the better my results were, right? So it's not only a matter of being honest with other people, it's a matter of being honest with yourself. Because if you're not being honest with yourself, who are you hurting? Nobody but yourself, right? So I have learned that the more honest, the more transparent I am, the greater the results will be. So moving forward for, you know, the next 7 days, my goal remains, you know, like I said, last week I said my goal was 5,000 steps a day. All right, let's be a little more realistic about that. So moving forward, especially since I'm still struggling a little bit with the back pain, moving forward, I'm going to say my goal is 4,000 steps a day. I think that is attainable. It may be a stretch, and I may or may not hit it 7 out of the 7 days, but, you know, honestly, even if I made it several days out of the next 7 days, several days, you know, then that would be great, you know, progress. It's all about putting one foot in front of the other, literally, and just moving forward. So, like I said, gained 0.8 pounds. I'm not worried. I'm a little disappointed. I'm always disappointed when I have a gain, but, you know, this train is not slowing down, like I've said. We're moving forward. So onward and upward to my goals, and hopefully when my back pain eases, I can resume treadmill. So Friday, I have my discharge appointment from physical therapy. Super excited about that. So depending on how the day goes, I may post a little hooray video. So that is my weight loss update. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are making healthy choices. And yeah, I know my hair is different this week. I wound up not. If you saw yesterday's or another video where I talked about my hair, I didn't wash it. So it's still straight from when my hairdresser did it. But once I wash it, it's like you push a button and presto, curly hair again. So it's a one-day only special, but I just got my hair done, and she did a great job. So a little transformation there. But hope you guys have a great day. Comment below. I love to read all of your comments. I appreciate the interaction, and God bless you guys. Take care.